Hi, welcome to Fraunhofer IPMS. My name is Lukas Lorenz. I'm the head of the Packaging Heterogeneous Integration Group, and I want to show you our dicing capabilities today. So let's go into the clean room. Here at Fraunhofer IPMS, we are specialized on the fabrication and manufacturing of MEMS and MOEMS devices. And after the front end, of course, we need some separation of the dies, and this is done here in our packaging lab, where the dicing equipment is located. We are able to dice 200 and 300 millimeter wafers, as well as a variety of materials, starting of course from silicon, structured or unstructured. We are also able to process glass wafers or glass panels for optical applications, or we can process ceramic substrates, for example, for high temperature applications. But before we can start the actual dicing process, we need to mount the wafer on a dicing frame. For the lamination of the wafer to the dicing tape, we have our semi-automatic mounter here. Depending on the application, we have different dicing tapes available. Today we use an UV tape, which guarantees a strong adhesion of the wafer to the dicing tape, which allows to cut chip sizes down to 1 by 1 millimeter. We also use pre-cut tapes, so there is no cutting after the lamination process necessary, which avoids particle generation. After placing the wafer and the dicing frame on the chuck, the machine does the rest. So we choose the recipe for the foil, and after that the machine automatically laminates the tape on the wafer and the frame. After the machine is finished, this is our mounting result. We have the wafer on the frame and we can now put it into the dicing cassette, and with that we can now go to the dicing saw. With the loaded cassette, we are now ready for the dicing. Besides the dicing with dicing frame, we are also able to dice in half-cut mode. So this machine is able to handle the blank wafers and load them on the chuck for a half-cut dicing. Today we have the wafers on the frame, and we now simply need to choose the recipe. The engineer predefines all the relevant parameters like the spindle revolution speed, the feed rate and the cutting depth. And after choosing the right recipe, we are ready to do a fully automatic dicing. The machine is able to handle all the wafers within the machine fully automatically, and with several cassettes in the machine, we are able to process up to 50 wafers at a time. And also the alignment is done fully automatically after a first teaching. We now see the handler in the machine to put the dicing frame with our wafer on the dicing chuck. And after this is done, already the next wafer is handled out of the cassette, and then the frame with our wafer is transferred to the dicing chamber where the actual dicing happens. Before we can dice, it is necessary to tell the machine where it should dice, and this is done also fully automatically. The machine recognizes our product and defines where the dicing streets are, and after this is done, the actual cutting can start. Here we see now the actual dicing chamber where the separation of the dies is done. The machine is equipped with 2 spindles. They can separately be equipped with different dicing blades. This is, for example, for increased throughput when we can dice 2 lines in parallel. Furthermore, we are able to equip different dicing blades, for example, for a step cut, or we can simply reduce the setup time when the operator has 2 blades already available on the machine. For the dicing, we need cooling water. This machine uses the eye water with an optional additive to reduce the adhesion of the dicing slurry on the wafer. Furthermore, there is a CO2 bubbler equipped, which further reduces the adhesion of dicing slurry and which is also necessary to protect the wafer from ESD damages. We now see the cutting of the first channel of the X direction. After this is completed, the wafer chuck turns 90 degrees and the second channel in Y direction is diced as well. With this machine, we are also able to perform circle cuts. This is, for example, important for resizing when we want to reshape a 300 mm to a 200 mm one, or for edge trimming in bonded wafer applications. After the dicing, the wafer is automatically transferred to the built-in cleaning station. This is a gentle and effective way of cleaning. So there is no water jet used for the cleaning, but a moisture jet. And this is a very good way to remove the remaining particles and the remaining dicing slurry of the wafer. After the whole wafer batch is completely processed and all the wafers are back into the cassette, the machine is now ready to unload. And here we see one of the 300 mm wafers now perfectly diced. And the last step is now the UV irradiation, which is done on another machine. This is our UV irradiation tool. With that, we can expose the wafer and the tape to UV light. This is necessary that the foil loses most of its adhesion, so that the follow-up processes like pick and place are easily possible. We choose the recipe for the selected foil, and then there is a short UV irradiation. And after that we can remove the wafer from the device. And the wafer is now ready for the follow-up processes. Thank you very much for the interest in IPMS packaging and dicing processes. And if you want to learn more about us or our processes, feel free to contact us.